Hello, beautiful humans. Dr. Foreign. This is your Metabolic Minute. This is a bit of a deep dive on LDL response with a low-carb diet, body size, and consequence. So we know that most people, when they adopt a low-carb ketogenic carnivore diet, they actually don't have an elevation in their LDL. A lot of people, their LDL will go down, especially people that live with higher degrees of obesity. Some people, again, there's no response, but for quite a few people, they can have a marked elevation in their LDL. Usually you're also seeing an increase in HDL, it's a great thing, and a decrease in the triglycerides, which is awesome. There are a subset of people known as the lean mass hyperresponders, LMHR. This is a group of people that are marked by a BMI usually less than 25, but especially females with body fat percent less than 23% and males with body fat percent less than 20%. In that group, they can have dramatic elevations in their LDL and subsequently also have decreases in their triglycerides and elevation in their HDL. Why is this important? This was first described in 2017, but in the last couple of years, something has been described as the lipid energy model. It appears that these people, which again are lean, they're metabolically healthy, and they're very active, they need to shuttle more fat in their blood to act as an energy substrate. They're not carb burners, they are fat burners, and so they need to transport more fat in order to provide all their cells the energy that they need. The problem is we don't know the impact of this profoundly elevated LDL, and with it elevated ApoB. Does that put this metabolically well population at risk for ASCVD? Should they be on statins? Well, this study was published in April of 2025, and it was fascinating. In this study, they took 100 lean mass hyperresponders, average age about 55, about 60% male, and they did baseline CT angiography, meaning they injected dye into their vein to look to see if there was any narrowing, any plaques in the heart, and they also did baseline coronary artery calcium scores. That's a non-invasive CT test to see is there any calcium in the lining of the arteries. That is usually a sign of plaque. They did baseline imaging by these two modalities and then followed up 1 year later and did the same testing modalities to see has there been progression of the plaque. Out of the 100, 57 of them at baseline had a coronary artery calcium score, a CAC, of 0. Study authors had previously reported that these baseline 5-year lean mass hyperresponder keto people had no greater plaque burden at baseline than age-matched controls. So what did they find out? ApoB did not predict plaque progression. Those with an elevated CAC score at baseline were the ones that had plaque progression. Plaque predicts plaque. And those people that had a CAC of 0 did not develop plaque over that year. So, take-home message is, even among the metabolically well, lean mass people, it still makes sense to know your risk. Get imaging done to see. A lot of people who suffered with metabolic dysfunction for years before developing a lean mass physiology may actually have baseline atherosclerosis. And we now know you can reverse atherosclerosis. There is imaging, there is evidence. I hope you're being good to you. You are pretty darn important. Food's a tool, not a weapon. Take care, like, share, and check in tomorrow. And I'm going to go over my CAC score. Thanks.